Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back for Foundation episode 8. This was a really good one right here for me, man. What do you think?
It's coming down to the wire.
It's
Everything's coming
coming,
together right now.
dude. I mean, you got Harry, you got Gail flipping off. She needs to stop screaming so much.
Yeah, what's
real.
up with that? Like that annoyed me. That part of the show annoyed me.
I
Everybody else
am
is doing their thing. Salvor's being heroic. I'm like, okay, let's go. And Gail's flailing around yelling.
I
I didn't
am
need
done
that.
with her yelling, dude. She yells too much. I mean, come on. I mean, you need to
And
just
like,
chill out. Come on. It's like
there's
a
drama
12-year-old
throughout.
girl.
There's drama throughout the whole show. We don't need drama here. We want the math kicking in. You're
Right.
supposed to be the math person. You're supposed to be thinking things through, be logical. She's just screaming and punching stuff. Like, come on, man.
And
I
now
didn't
she's
like
on I didn't like that either. And now she's on a journey that's going to take her like over 100 years. Like, really?
to go back home. Like,
Come on.
isn't there supposed to be a tsunami? Like, what's she coming home to? I thought
Well,
the tsunami's coming during
if
her lifetime.
right, exactly. If her dream comes true, then she's going back to Surf City.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I don't
know,
understand that logic. That I guess you want to save your people, but you have to save them faster than 100 years.
138 years. Come on. It's just like you couldn't go to any place faster and then get on a ship and do a jump or something. I mean, come on.
I have so many questions, right?
You want to give a brief overview and then we'll get into it?
Okay, so this show is about basically this is following Brother Day and his journey doing that crazy walk through the spiral.
The spiral,
And so it's focusing on Brother Day and what's going on with Savor and Farah on the super ship that spins around like a top. The super ship. So it's the Invictus. So you're basically the show is jumping back and forth between those two.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool showing the backstory for Farah, like why she is the way she is.
Mm-hmm.
And watching her brother die or whatever. So that was interesting. But the show is going back and forth. The focus was on Brother Day. I think 60% of the show was on him doing his walk. And I say 50% is on him.
Yeah.
40% on Salvor saving the day. And I have more respect for her now because she's making logical decisions and stuff makes sense that's happening.
Yeah.
So it's between those two, and then you got a little bit of Gail screaming and yelling and smashing things. So that's the show.
I'm not going to say the H word, but she was definitely the H word. Like, really? Come on. It's just it's okay. Let me ask you this here.
Okay, yeah, we'll go back. We'll go back to that in a second. Yeah, go ahead. We'll talk about Gail later.
Okay, which section do you want to get into first? You want to get into?
Let's talk about Brother Day. Let's start with
okay,
that.
I wanted to start with Brother Day too because Brother Day, you know what? After the podcast last week,
yeah, we ripped it. I was like, "This dope. What are you doing?"
Yeah, I was trying to think of the right word or phrase, and then I was like, oh, okay. You know what? It is completely possible that all the Cleons, right? There is some sort of a genetic defect in all of them. I mean, they're just passing it down from Cleon to Cleon, right?
You're a copy of a copy now.
Yeah. So I think there is a genetic defect in all of them, and definitely Day exhibited some sort of genetic defect because he.
What do you think it is? I agree with you. I think you're right. I don't know what it is though. I'm kind of curious what you think it is.
Well, I think it's for instance, like with Don, he has he's colorblind. He's not a complete replica of the Cleon. So I'm not sure, but they're passing down some sort of a defect.
Maybe he can't dream and that's why he couldn't see. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need that kind of creative thought because you're supposed to see a vision at the end of your journey, which is that we'll get to that in a second. But he's supposed to see a vision and maybe he can't because, he has that's his defect. He has, that creative side of him. Because you remember the other brother, Dusk, he was doing the painting.
Mhm.
He's fixing the creative thing. Like maybe the other brothers can't do that, or they're not interested in that. So maybe they have little attributes that's kind of different from each other, and they kind of pretend like they're following the same line. There's something to that, though, for
It's a
sure.
mess, dude. It's a complete mess.
Well,
So,
there be problems if you're doing 14 copies. Like there has to be problems.
I mean, over like a bazillion years, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
something. Um, and not to mention, who knows? Maybe Demoiselle dropped a little something in the water to create a genetic defect. Who knows?
Yeah.
So Brother Day took the spiral and he completed the spiral and he went into the cave where all the mothers, all the gods, once he got into this
Yeah,
pool
he's
of
supposed to
water,
drink your water.
he
Yeah.
was supposed to see a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the beginning, he spoke to the mothers, once he got back to Luminous and,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, hey, he said, hey, I had a vision, and it was like, okay. But then come to find out later in the show, he had no vision.
Yeah, he didn't have a vision. He lied, but
He
he picked the
lied.
best lie of all time, though.
Dude, I
He's well
mean,
researched. I slow clapped when I saw the cutting on that. I was like, oh, that's genius. He
that
flipped this
is,
entire thing around on to his benefit now because they're like, we're outlawing anybody who's saying if you're a clone, you don't have a soul. You're done.
yeah. And
Which
then the
that was
other
genius on his
thing,
part.
right. I mean, it was just like, but now you could just tell that like Demoiselle is a little peed off. She knows what's going on. She knows what
He did
happened.
not like that.
And
I think if she wasn't sent off to do the assassination, I think probably she would have been okay with it for the most part.
hmm,
But like that, it was like compiling things there, which everybody online is up in arms over the assassination thing on Demerzel's part because it breaks one of the rules for robots that Asimov created. Because the rules are, it's one of them is that a robot can do no harm to human. It can protect itself, but it's not allowed to do any harm to another human being. And it's assassination. She knew what it was. She knew what she was doing. She touched her hand to pass the whatever the thing is.
the
Is
poison,
it
yeah.
nanobots, whatever poison it
It was
is?
a poison, dude. Wow.
She legitimately touched her hand so to make sure she got it on her.
Yeah.
And then yeah, she was all emotional about it. Like the one thing I didn't like about that scene is that I hate when people do villainous stuff and then they explain it to you.
Yeah.
Like I don't like I have to do a monologue. Like I'm about to be evil. Hey everybody, this is what I'm gonna do to you. This is how it's
Well,
gonna work.
uh
I know it's for
exactly.
us. I know it's for us because we
Mhm.
don't know what's happening right now. But like every movie, or not say everybody, a lot of movies and TV shows do that cliche
Yeah.
of the villain doing a monologue
True.
about the bad thing they're about to do. And it never gets good. It's always
Mm-mm.
bad. Across the board, it's always a bad thing.
Do you
It
think?
didn't
I
work.
mean, she was explaining that to Halima
Yeah.
because she really likes Halima. You know, she really thought that this
Mhm.
Zephyr would have taken Luminous in a proper direction, right? And I think the other reason why she liked Halima is
Mhm.
because she probably feels the same way as Helena did, which is she really doesn't necessarily,
Yeah, I don't think she
believe in
agrees
the
with the doing the
yeah the
clones.
genetic
It's just her
dynasty.
job.
Yeah,
And I think
dude.
too, because she's been there so long, but
Mm-hmm.
she's at 11,000 years. So
11,000. We were saying 500, 700 years. It's
yeah,
11,000 years.
11,000. So yeah, she's been around before, and she's supposed to be like the last intelligent thinking human robot in the
Yeah.
galaxy. So she's seen a lot of stuff, and now her job is taking care of Cleon's whatever. But she seems like she's conflicted with doing this job, but it's in programs so that she has to do it. Which that's a dangerous person to have in your team.
I
It's a
mean,
very dangerous.
dude, like I said, she could be dropping stuff into their food, their water, their genetic
All
dynasty. Next
she
thing you
handles
know,
teaching the kids
yeah.
what they're supposed
I
to be
mean, those
like
joints
the
can
next
come out like
generation.
Cyclops with an eye right here. I
Yeah,
mean,
that is crazy that there's no oversight keeping the eye on her. She's doing everything by herself.
Well,
That's
it's
wild.
also programmed that she can't do no harm to the
Yeah, but
Cleons as
if
well.
she could be programmed to do no harm, she could be programmed to do harm. So
She can go into the scar and like be reprogrammed or something like that,
yeah,
right?
she could go rogue.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
other thing that was weird, I was thinking about was that when she did this walk, everybody else gets sunburned and their get body gets scarred or whatever.
Hmm.
How does she play that off if she's an android or robot? Because
That's a good
you know what I'm
question.
saying? Like she should
Yeah.
have they that
That's a
advanced
very
that
good
her
question.
her skin turns color to give the impression of sunburn, and you have to have skin peeling, and everyone
Yeah.
got chapped lips and stuff like how
Not
does
to
she work that
mention,
out?
she's a robot, so she probably finished it in record time. They were saying like the
Mhm.
you guys on the metric system there, right?
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know
so
metric. I grew up in America. I have no
okay,
idea what
so they
metric
were
is.
saying 170 kilometers, which is like 105 miles. They had to walk 105
Yeah.
miles in a desert
Mhm. Yeah,
and not expect to die.
the rules are interesting too, because you have to, if you fall down on one knee, you're good to go. If you fall on both knees, you gotta lay there for that's it. You just gotta give up.
You got to give up,
Crawl out,
dude,
crawl off the road, and just lay there and die.
and lay there
I
and
was like,
die.
yeah, I don't know. Did anybody
Those
see
are the
me? Like,
rules. I'm like, is there
like,
like is there an Uber around here or something?
yo,
like
if nobody saw me, I'm getting right back up like nothing happened,
like
right?
like dude, like for real. It's
Woo!
just like I may take a little nap, for like 5 or 10 minutes, come back
Yeah,
up,
exactly, yo.
you know.
I swear
Um
Dave got both knees down, and he's like, oh,
yeah.
when he's helping the guy on the road, I swear to God, he had both knees down,
I
and
was
then he
looking
got
at that
up.
too. He was scooting down on his feet.
Yeah, he was
So,
real low.
yeah,
He
so I
got
was
low like
like,
Lil
yo.
John, man. He was low on the ground. I was like, did he?
He
I
said
don't
Little
know.
John. Yo, and here's the other thing, right? So when
Mhm,
they showed that he actually did not see a vision, and
mhm.
Demiselle was just like seeing nothing is just, I mean, that's the worst thing that can happen. And he saw
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. And when the spacers were preparing him, for the jump,
He's
he's
having a
got to
terrible
think.
day.
He's got to think about that while he's like in stasis, dude. It's just like, oh my, what happened? Because if Demiselle did not say to him,
Mhm,
seeing nothing is bad, then he would have
mhm.
been good to go. Now he's got to
Yeah, I think
think about that.
he was smug eating his dinner, like, haha, I got her. Like,
Oh boy, had a nice spread on the dinner table,
yeah, he
didn't
was
he? I
like,
was
out
like,
there eating this thing,
he
like,
had
yeah, I
wine, he
got her.
had Stellas, he had like 60 minutes, he had a little bit of like cognac, some like XO, some Remy. I mean, he was
Yo,
like
he had the whole
feasting
spread.
out.
Yeah.
He got
He
all
was
like he got tan as any, well, at least they spray tanned him, but he was tan as
Yeah,
anything walking that
he
day.
was lobster color with it. So, and it leads me to my other question. Why didn't you do this from the beginning? If there was a way to get to her and let her touch something and make it seem like she died of natural
That's
causes, why
what?
didn't you do this from the beginning?
That's what we were
You're
talking about last show. It was just like, why hasn't he just like went in there, went into the joint after, and like it was. I mean,
yeah.
dude, you run the entire galaxy.
Your Zephyr was already in the lead. If
Yeah,
that lady didn't come out and do that speech, it was a wrap already. So you could have avoided all of this and kept everything
yeah,
exactly the same. I don't know. I don't. And now you've ruined your the relationship with your robot that can hurt or harm the Empire very easily.
hmm
And she's upset with the future for the religion now.
yeah.
She disagrees with how the religion's going.
hmm
She can cause a lot of problems now, and you had to go through this whole thing of almost dying a couple times on this road. That you could have skipped all of that and got the exact same results. I don't. I think that was the TV moment. I don't dis because it was good TV, but it was
Yeah.
unnecessary TV.
I mean, he could have just off this like person Halima off,
Yeah,
wiped off the face of the earth, face of Luminous, like with
yeah,
again with just like Demiselle going in and just like touching her and like she has the poison on her skin and it's like it's
yeah. You
it, it's
don't.
over.
You couldn't get like a suicide touching person and just go in there like, here you go.
I mean,
Hey, thanks for the blessing. And do the whole wave thing.
oh my
Thanks for
goodness,
the blessing.
dude, this like, but you know what? I will say this though, right?
Mhm.
these little cliffhangers, these are, I mean, if you're going to have cliffhangers,
Yeah.
Foundation is just putting these cliffhangers together so like
Yeah, like
brilliantly, like
you want to
splendidly.
see the next show. You
I
want to see what's
mean,
going to come
they are really killing it. Again, I mean, the book people, I mean, whatever it is, but thus far with like what I'm seeing,
Yeah.
I'm loving how like these shows are blending in, these episodes are blending in with each other, how they like leave, these little like cliffhangers on all of these different things happening in all of these different places. And then they come
Yeah,
back,
like
you know?
I like the way the story is going, and I want to see more. So like at every show when it ends, I'm like, okay, I wish I just watch all these together, and just go right through it. I don't want to wait another week, but
Yeah.
so like that's good storytelling.
Hmm.
I think a lot of the stuff is like nitpicks, like that.
Yeah.
The robot law, I think, is a little more than a nitpick because that's a
Mhm.
huge deal about having a robot kill somebody. I think huge deal for the series, for Isaac Asimov. Like it's a big deal. That he's very famous for these three rules for robots, and this show is based on his works, and they just ignored one of the rules. So I guess I don't even think that's a book person thing. Like I knew what the rules are for robots.
Mhm.
And I guess it's a problem.
Well, I mean, robots go rogue, and I mean, again, she was reprogrammed. Remember?
Yeah, but like I think that they have to have an explanation. They can't just be like, "Well, he told her to go kill her," and she's like, "All right." Like there has to be actually she's conflicted and everything like that, but still, there's got to be an explanation why it was okay for her to go kill as a robot. Like, there's got to be a reason for it. They got to explain
Well,
it. That next show got to explain that thing. Otherwise, people are gonna be in uproar.
okay, so let me throw this at you. Okay, now we know she is Halima will be killed, will die from like this poison that was secreted from Demoiselles skin, right?
Mhm.
So it wasn't like she went in and just like Swiss cheesed her and then like left her there for dead.
I thought she was gonna
Um,
Swiss cheese her. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
I thought she was just gonna like break a neck, like
Yeah, I was like,
But
hiya.
but you know, but so is that really considered like
Yeah, she knew
really?
what it was. Yeah, she put it on her. She knew what it was, and she did it. So like it
I,
feels to me it would have made more sense if they put it on her and she didn't know.
mhm,
If that would have made more sense because it'd be accidental, it's not her fault, but she's kind of the carrier for it.
yeah.
That would have made more sense, and she would be a willing participant. But then if she found out, she'd be even more mad. But it would have made more sense to keep the robot laws intact if it was inadvertent rather than she intentionally did it
Mhm,
because she planned to go down there and she planned to talk to her, she planned to touch her hand and pass it that way. So like you
mhm.
did all this stuff intentional. So like it goes from manslaughter to first degree right there for robots. So I don't know, it's a huge deal though. The rules for robots is a huge deal.
Okay, so I think this, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think that um like I said before, and I've said this in a couple episodes, there is a story. Demoiselle has a story,
Yes.
and it's going to be a very big, explosive story. Like again, who knows? She may like head down to the Scar,
Mm-hmm.
check out a couple EDM clubs, and just get these joints, just get
Mm-hmm.
reprogrammed. The other thing is we spoke about this last week is okay, so
Mm-hmm.
like when Dave made the spiral when he did the journey, we
Mm-hmm.
both said like, so is he gonna have like, his inorganic, pieces removed, his like imperial nanobots, and that had to happen. And that's what he did, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously if he had all that stuff, it would have been quite easy. He probably wouldn't have gotten a tan,
Yeah, it wouldn't
and
got tan. His feet wouldn't
yeah,
get messed up. He'd be all
right,
right.
right.
Could run
So
faster or longer. It would have been fine. Like his body would have
I
repaired.
I also saw that when he had all of those things removed and then he was going through the journey, there was a compassionate side that they showed.
Mhm.
When he was there talking to the
Yeah, he's
older
not a complete
gentleman,
douchebag.
right?
See, like him getting rid of
you know,
Halima, like that's business right there. I don't
Right.
if she had come out and directly threatened him, I
Hmm.
think because he initially tried to work with her. Like I don't think he's a scumbag, leader per se.
But you
He's
know
just
what?
like he's
Go ahead.
his problem is that the empire is so big that it's hard to deal with personal matters. It's always a large you're dealing with the moving things around like chess pieces. It's not you don't have that one-on-one attention. Like because when he did see them one-on-one, he was like he tried to help that guy make it through his
Yeah,
journey. He's
exactly.
done the little things to here and there to be like, well, I don't know what because like his brother was the one that launched the missiles on the two planets,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Do we have to do this?"
Hmm.
Because he was a kid at
Exactly.
the time. So like say like he has the capacity to not be a douchebag, but when you're that high up as a CEO, like if you're a CEO of a company with 100 employees versus a company with 14,000 employees,
Hmm.
your attitude about the everyday working thing is going to be totally different. So like
True.
I don't look at him as an evil dictator kind of thing. I just look at it like this is his job and he's worried about the the overall greater good for all of the universe, I guess.
The other thing he said was, which is why he probably did not offer Swiss
Mm.
cheese or like, because he said doing it this way, where it appears that she has died of natural causes, would not
Yeah,
cause a holy
you
war. So I guess that's
you
why
don't
he
want to
couldn't
ruin
just
her.
go up and Swiss cheese her like that, because
Yeah,
then it
he
would have
wanted to
caused like,
tease her
yeah, exactly. So it's just like something a
because
little
she's a
easier,
threat. Like she can't. Like, see, the thing is too. Like I agree with him. We both. I think we both agree that she can't be. She can't exist.
Yeah,
That lady is a problem for the
she's a
empire.
problem, dude.
She's a problem. I think we both agree that like if you're in this level of position, you're gonna have to figure out a way to mitigate her potential fallout for whatever she says or does if she's just hanging around as Zephyr or whatever. Because she's high
Yeah.
enough in the church that she could meet him on her own.
Hmm.
That's a problem. And
Yeah,
this
dude.
person doesn't want you gone. So like it's not like a little thing here. And people agree with her too. So yeah, it's a huge deal.
It really is. Let's take it to the Raven with Harry Seldon and
Oh, you're gonna
Gail.
go with Gail?
Yeah, because
Okay.
Gail is, again, like I said, I don't know what's going on with her, but her yelling like a little kid is becoming super annoying to me. And I'm just like, okay,
Yes.
open this door. Help me. Leave me alone. It's like, Duke, I
I'm like,
mean,
yo,
come on.
when is this math side of your brain gonna kick in and you start doing the numbers? Like, when does that happen?
Exactly. Yeah,
Usually
it's just
people who
like,
are
mhm.
analytical like that, they're not hysterical. I'll
Yeah.
say it. She's hysterical.
The
She
H word.
smashed the she smashed the system, the HVAC system to
Right.
keep the temperature there just out of spite. Like, who does that?
Yeah,
As a
exactly.
as an analytical person, I'm like, well, I'm getting the helicron and then we're gonna figure this thing out.
And
I'm
then
gonna just sit there,
in the
get as much
last episode,
information.
she like she smacked Harry, remember? Obviously this is
Yeah,
a,
he was a
a
robot, Harry. But
hologram,
I'm like,
exactly, right.
yeah, like what is this math equation side of your brain gonna kick in and start doing things? I don't understand that.
You mean to tell me that, okay, you are a math wizard, a math prodigy,
One of the
and
smartest people in the universe,
right,
and she's yelling around smashing things. Like, what are you doing?
you are basically the next Harry Seldon, right?
Yes,
And you
yes,
mean to tell me you wanted to leave the Raven and take a journey back home to Synax that's going to take you 138 years.
yes.
Like
Wouldn't it have been better?
that is you. I mean, I don't know again if the math part, obviously the math part, the math brain, math whiz didn't kick in because that was all emotion,
It
pure
was all
emotion.
emotion.
Yeah.
She tried to off herself twice on this ship.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
I get. Look, the thing though, I understand the pressure that you're under because
Hmm.
it's a lot of stuff going on, and you just woke up after somebody
38
got
years.
assassinated. Yeah,
Exactly.
30 years. There's a lot of stuff going on. I get that. I'm an analytical person. Like that's
Hmm.
how my brain operates. And I'm always doing okay, if I do this, is it worth it? Because I got to get this thing. And I'm more results oriented.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm assuming that she's like that, but times 1,000 because of how smart she is
Yeah.
with doing the math. She taught herself how to do this Braxton's equation. Like that's one of the smartest people in the universe. And then we're talking about a universe where a maintenance man can make a jump drive to fly across the universe.
Right.
Like that's how advanced and smart they are. And she
Mm-hmm.
tried to offer side twice. I that bothered me so much. I'm like, what is you could get to the planet, get a new ship, or reprogram this ship and leave. You could do that. Why would you go this route? I don't understand it.
Right. So exactly, she can go to Helicon, get on a ship that has jump capabilities, and be
Yeah.
like in Synax in like 2
Yeah.
weeks. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Or you
Something
could
else that
reprogram
was
the Raven to do it.
exactly. Now something else that was discovered is that there is a second foundation that has to remain secret, and that is on Helicon. So it's just like,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
That's a big departure from the books. It's in
Yeah.
another place. Books.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
having them put it there, I think that's fine. It's in a good spot because it's difficult to get to.
Yeah.
You're next to a black hole or whatever, like it's good.
Exactly. As you have all the the asteroid belt, the whole nine.
Yeah, you
So
got a lot of stuff to do with that. That's fine. I don't have a problem
I
with that.
wonder why. Once Harry told her that hey, there is a second, a sister foundation, and it's on Helicon, and it has to remain secret. But he also wanted her to basically run the first foundation. Now that what's up?
Yeah, he wanted to run one of them.
Yeah.
Race was supposed to run this one.
Right, exactly. So it's just like but she wants to go back to Synax, where she's not even welcomed because she,
she's a heretic.
right, she's like, hey, I want to learn math, and they're just like, no, learning is like banned here. It's just like I don't listen, I don't get her. Last week, the week before, whenever, it's just like she's yelling, she's screaming, blah, blah, blah. It's just like,
yelling and
okay.
screaming too much.
It's just like, I mean, and she is young, you could tell. Well, she isn't because she's been traveling for so long.
Yeah, she's like 70 years old now.
She's probably like 1 billion years old or something like that, right? But yeah, so, and now she's going to be 1,138,000,000, because she's about to like travel 100, like what? Okay.
She's doing Captain America numbers now for how old she is.
Why you wanted to get off this? You wanted to get off the Raven so bad that it's going to take you 138 years to get back to Synax, and you are okay with that.
I don't understand it.
That doesn't sound like a math whiz or someone who thinks like that at all. That just sounds
also,
like just someone who is compulsive.
That has ability to refix itself. Like the thing went shot through, the window healed itself, whatever. And you put yourself in a pod that doesn't have the ability to reheal itself.
I mean, someone could just shoot that joint right out of space or something.
Or
right?
you could just run into a rock or whatever, like a straight like. They have little pellets or wherever you saw it on the ship when those little pellets went through and hit it. So something like that can hit your drive or whatever. Like that. That logic is for a math whiz. Her logic is not working on any level.
I think I like all of the characters.
Yeah,
Gail is a character. She's annoying to me. She's
her
just
stock is dropping through the floor for me.
Totally dropping for me, dude. I'm just like I'm like, oh, okay, here we go with this, whatever. Okay, so she's on a journey. It's going to take her 138 years to get to Synax. Yeah. That's what she wanted to do. I don't know, maybe, in another episode, a ship will find her and, bring her on board and take her out of stasis or whatever. I don't know.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
It's there. It's a part of the show. We'll see what's going on.
I don't know how you fix this and make it better. I don't care about her character at all. Her character was interesting when she was a vital part to the Foundation. And I could see the need for her because she understood the calculations, everything. Then here she comes and she tries to offer solve twice. She's trying to get off the show. Let her get off the show. Like that's fine.
That's it.
I don't think we don't need her.
Bye-bye.
So for half of this season, she was in stasis anyway. So whatever, man.
Well, she's going to be in stasis for 138 years. So hopefully that'll be into like, season 3 or something like that for real.
Yeah, like it's fine, whatever. All right, let's go.
Let's
Let's go over
take
this
it to the
other.
Invictus. Okay. The
Let's
Invictus
get him here.
dude.
Mm,
So Farah, basically, I mean, said that, hey, you know what? She wants revenge, basically, Like if you go in and you partially destroy Trantor,
mm.
just the weight of military might that will like come upon your own people.
There's no place you could hide in the galaxy. Like
No
they're
place
gonna,
you can
they're
hide
gonna
in the
get you.
galaxy, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? And so, okay, so they're on the ship. They had to get to the bridge. The bridge had, a defense
Mm,
mechanism, and they got through that. And then, Lewis and Salvor got on, left them
mm.
out, and they were trying to, figure out if they can like, program this ship to like jump to Terminus, right?
Yeah, I
Excuse me.
like the technology where they had to plug somebody in. Like it's interesting how
Like the
far.
Matrix almost, huh?
Yeah. You had to,
Hmm.
you had to go into your spine, basically attached to your brain.
Right.
So like somebody had to be genetically modified to go do that one job, and you're just gonna sit in this chair for the rest of your
That's
life.
it.
That's
Forever.
wild, man.
So here
That
she
is
is. She's
wild.
gonna have Lewis cut into her to try to like, plug into the system. I'm like, no,
Mhm.
no, that's not no. I'm sorry. No, you're not cutting into my neck, to plug
Can't
in
take
this
my chances
system.
with this jump, man.
It's just like, she's like, hey, they don't want to jump into, just space. They want to jump to
Mhm,
Terminus. But
mhm.
they were not able to get control of
Yeah, they
the
ain't stopping
of
it.
Invictus, and it jumped anyway. But then
Mhm.
before it jumped, who knew that Hugo, and it's Hugo,
Yeah.
it's not Hugo, because if you look at the comments, someone said his name is actually Hugo. Now, I don't know. Maybe IMDb has it wrong,
Oh,
but
I think the
it's
show is called
Hugo.
Yuko.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Hugo, not
Is it
Hugo.
is that a
Hugo.
typo or just beefing for some reason? I don't
I
know.
don't know, but it's Hugo. It's
So,
not Hugo with a Y. But he's
I'm glad he
alive.
survived. I'm glad he survived. I liked his
Mhm.
character.
Do you
I think
think,
character's
okay, so
cool.
do you think that was planned? Because she said, oh, Hugo actually got through, you know?
Well, yeah, okay, that's a good point. I don't
Yeah.
know. Because it looked like he just lost his thing and he just floated off to space. But apparently he was going in a direction to get over to this, what is it?
Communications, pod or
It's on it.
whatever.
What is it on
Mhm.
an asteroid? Like, what is it on? What is it connected
You
to?
know what? Actually, in the last episode, when they were putting, when they, put on their spacesuits and everything, they did speak about that. Like there is a communications, blah blah blah, and I was
Mm.
just like, okay. So anyway, the thespians, he contacted his thespian crew, or just
Yeah, he
the
gave a shout
galaxy,
out.
the yeah, exactly, uh, and they came, and it's just like, well, first of all, this is the world killer. This is the
Yeah,
Invictus. This is a massive ship with crazy defenses. You
yeah,
bring
that
in
little
your
tiny
little like
pod couldn't
small
make a difference.
lancers, dude. They're not
No,
doing anything. They're irritating the
you need
Invictus.
a battleship to come deal with this thing. Why'd you bring this
You
little
need
tiny
a
ship?
lot of battleships. You need like a world killer, like Invictus 2, to maybe defeat that joint.
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah,
Mhm.
all right. You know what? That's a good point. It seems like that was just more of a drama. They need some time to stall before the end of the show. So
Yeah.
let's bring these little tiny ships. Did the little tiny ships jump with them?
Um,
I didn't see them after the
I
thing
did not.
jumped. It took
Well,
all that space around it with it.
that would be kind of interesting. I didn't see the ships go into the jump either. But who
Well, like
knows?
it had some red
It pulled
substance that
everything.
was around
Yeah,
it. It pulled everything around it when it
exactly.
did that jump. Those ships were close enough to hit it. So did they get dragged into the jump? It looked like it.
Wow.
Because so like doing that jump like that without being in a stasis pod, like it makes you go crazy. So everyone's ruined basically on the ship now.
She's exactly, because they didn't like she was basically saying, like when this ship was created, the spacer technology wasn't there yet, you
Yeah,
know, which helps you, put you in a, stasis
the
sort of like,
stasis thing. Yeah,
right, exactly,
you had
um,
to be in the control, whatever the control circle things,
yep,
the big
plugged up.
wheel.
Plugged
You had to
up
be plugged into the big wheel or whatever,
or
or you had to
sedated,
be
like, you know.
or sedated.
Yeah.
And if you weren't in
Wow.
either of those two places when the thing jumped, you got problems. So,
Wow.
which is
Dude,
interesting.
listen.
So everybody's basically out of the stasis pod, so they're screwed. Everyone's screwed.
Everyone's
I think
screwed, you
that
know.
Salvor's probably going to be okay because she's clearly different. Because I think her ability to handle whatever the monument thing is
Mhm.
on the Trantor, I mean Trantor on
Invictus
Terminus,
or Terminus.
the
Okay.
Terminus,
I
whatever
was
that thing
the
is,
vault. I was about to say
the
that
vault, the
because the
seal.
same sort of thing that surrounded her on Invictus when it was about to jump was the same sort of thing that surrounded her when she gets or when people get close to the vault, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Hmm.
I feel like maybe it's the same technology or something. So I think she'll probably be okay, but everybody else is kind of effed up on there. Anyone
Yeah,
on the bridge, whoever's on the ship, they're screwed. Whoever's
they're
left
screwed,
over,
dude, for real. So
yeah,
so this ship they did not take control of it, so it just did a jump on its
it
own.
jumped anywhere. Yeah.
So I don't know
So
where it's going.
how much time do they have between jumps? I don't think that was kind of clear. They said how much time this ship had before it was going to jump this time, but like, is it a month between jumps? Is it a couple weeks? Like, what is it?
We don't know, but I know that 30 minutes before a jump, they let you know, like, hey, you need to put on these, you know,
Yeah, you need
spacers or
to
whatever.
like,
You need to do
hey, put your
something,
life jacket
get
on.
sedated or something, dude, because you are about to like be in cuckoo land if if you don't, you're gonna wake up insane. Whatever it is, you know, it's
Yeah.
not gonna work out for you. But
Yeah, like, so if
uh,
Gail can survive the jump process, I think that the Salvor could probably survive it too. I think that's her kid. Honest to God, I think there's
yeah,
some kind of connection between the two of them.
because she didn't have an A, the A word. They took
Mhm.
the child and like you know put it in
Yeah,
whatever sort of
they
compartment or
don't grow
whatever.
them. Yeah, they don't grow them normally. They take the
Right.
kid out and then they do it
So
whatever.
it she can
There's
very
a
well be.
possibility.
Yeah, I think I can. I'm gonna I'm gonna
Mhm.
stick with that. I think that that may be her daughter for sure. You
Yeah,
know.
like, leave a comment below and be like if we're right or wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I
You
think I'm
know.
right on this one.
For
I think I'm
those who
right.
have read the book, what do you think about? Well, you know what? Oh boy, may have like flipped the script too and just said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna throw something
I think
different in here."
all
But I
bets
think
are off
that
for the
they're
show now.
yeah.
This is two different shows at this point. This is the book over here. This is the TV show over here.
This
They're two totally different things now.
and you know
It's
what?
way fun.
It's and I just love, like I said before, right?
Mm.
I really like these cliffhangers because it's not a episode cliffhanger. It's a
Mm.
cliffhanger on all of these different things that are happening. It's a cliffhanger with, you know, Day knowing that he did not see a vision. It's a cliffhanger with, you know, Salvan
With
and
Demerzel.
Phaedra. It's everything, you
Yeah,
know?
Demerzel's got an issue. Sarah's
Exactly,
got
you know.
issues like that.
So
The
I
different
don't
because
know.
I think that with Terminus, they have to get back at a certain time, otherwise they're gonna start killing everybody down there. So like they got cliffhanger with that. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think the next show is probably gonna deal with Dawn following what's going on with
Don
the
is
ship.
about to go to the he's about to go to the scar dude, get like, you know,
You think he's
some
gonna go underground?
use
He's
the
gonna go to a raid?
biohackers and everything, you know. I mean, who knows, man? They don't put out trailers for these
Mhm.
episodes. And
I
if
don't
they
watch any of
do,
that stuff if it
yeah,
was
and if
out. I
they
wouldn't watch
do,
it.
like only certain people are getting them. But I don't know why they would put out a trailer for, you know, but maybe they are. Sometimes I see like I'm on
Well, they
YouTube
usually
and
hype
it's
it
like,
up. Like,
yeah,
people get hyped for the next show or whatever they're watching, but I think
exactly.
they're like, "You got Apple Plus or you don't, so screw it, whatever, man.
This
Don't
was
worry
a
about
great
it."
episode, man. Let's zip this up. I want to
Mhm.
know what you give me your rating on Foundation episode 8.
I give it an 8.5 because I loved what happened with Day. I
Mm,
like what's going on with him. The whole thing with Empire intrigues me. So like that
yeah,
side of the storyline, I'm cool with. Salvor has grown on me considerably from
yeah,
the first couple of shows to
mm,
where she is now. Like, she's willing to sacrifice herself. Like, I love that. I like seeing heroic people do heroic things
right.
instead of yell and scream and act like entitled kind of thing.
I'm done with Gal.
It's annoying, yeah. So like, because a lot of shows have the quote unquote heroic people, and
Mm,
everything works out perfectly, and all this other stuff. Like, she's taking L. She lost her father.
Yeah.
she's about to end it all here to do this thing,
She
trying
may
to
be.
help.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
like she could
And if
lose
they,
here.
you
Like,
know, and like Farah said, like if you don't help me, I'm gonna, kill everyone on Terminus, and your mother is the first one I'm gonna kill. So,
yeah, and
you
she's
know,
like, you know what? That I need to try and save the day here because this is bigger than what's going on back home. Like, I respect that.
yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. For me, her character has grown considerably between the two. So like, I like that side. Gail, hopefully maybe they can fix it. I don't know. I'm not
yeah,
interested in what's going on with her storyline, but her storyline, at least for this time being, is unimportant.
yeah.
She's been in
That's true.
stasis for like 7 episodes, so like whatever. I'm not losing sleep over
3 seasons and whatnot.
that. Yeah, like
She's in stasis for 3 seasons.
like whatever, man. Like, but overall though, I like what's going on with the show. So
Mhm.
I give it an 8.5. What do you think about the show?
Okay, so first of all, I am going to remove my point that I've been giving Foundation, because we know that, graphically it's dope, right?
It looks good.
Um, yeah. So I'm also giving it an 8.5 because everything just fell into place for me.
Mhm.
Day is compelling. Day has a genetic defect we will know about.
Yeah, you're gonna find out what it is.
Demoiselle is, like I said, she's got a story, dude. And I think that Demoiselle, and again, you look at stuff like this, and it's episodic. So you try to put things together. I think that Demoiselle, Dawn, and Azora, I think those three are gonna, yeah,
Yeah,
something's gonna be really interesting.
I think you're right on that. Like she's
Mhm.
gonna try and change how the empire is being run
Right,
with the new one.
exactly. I think
That's a possibility.
I also think that Salvor, she has a really good story as well.
Mhm.
That was really, I mean, they didn't show a lot on Invictus, but it was enough to just keep you like even more intrigued. And
Mhm.
with the Gel thing, like traveling, on a cryopod for like 138 years. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's just make
It's a
sure
passing
that,
through.
right, let's make sure that it's exactly 138 Earth years, so we'll never see her again, because I'm just done with the whole yelling and everything. It's just like, are you like an adult or are you like 12 years old?
Yeah.
It's just,
I
I'm
need
not
you to
really
do
feeling it.
logical things. Like you need to be logical for a minute.
As a math whiz, as a math prodigy, can we
Yes.
think logically, and just try to, think things, work things out, with your
Something.
brilliant mind. Try to do that and stop yelling and being
Mhm.
fussy, and pouty like a little 12-year-old. That's completely annoying. That is, everything else is
Mhm.
dope. I just don't like when it comes to
Mhm.
her and she starts yelling and pouting and everything. It's just like, I'm done with it. I don't, yeah, I don't know about that. But I gave it an
Mhm.
8.5. Man, listen,
Mhm.
this show, again, the bookheads, you know, more power to you. You read the book. But this show thus far is
Mhm.
really, really a great show. It is really living up to my expectations, because I was looking forward to this for months when
Yeah.
I saw like the trailer, and I was like, this joint is going to be sicko, yo. And I think that this is a really great show. We are 8 episodes in. What do we have? 2 more episodes? They're
Yeah, I think
doing
it's 2
10?
more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 10. Yeah, it's 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I agree. Like, but you have to separate it. Like, I know this is your favorite property. You just gotta be like, well, this is what they're doing now. If you can take yourself out of it and
Yeah.
just be like, okay, well, this is just a show, and it's inspired by my
Hmm.
favorite property, then
Yeah.
I think you probably feel different about it. But like again, we don't have any skin in the game, so like it's different for us. We're coming here fresh, so I totally understand that side of it. But yeah, it's a good show. I like to see more of the show, and I'm very interested how the end of the empire goes down. What causes it?
It's a
What's the
work of art.
catalyst?
It's a work
Yeah.
of art. It is someone's artistic,
Mhm.
creation, so very cool. Well,
Mhm.
there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.